Hey everybody. So we now know that our current content standard 6.c.2 is asking us to be able to multiply, divide, add, subtract with decimals, fractions, and percentages, all parts of something. So today we're going to focus on the multiplying decimals. So we're going to start with multiplying decimals by whole numbers. This may seem a little scary, but as you'll see here in just a minute, this is a lot like multiplying just whole numbers by whole numbers, and then there's just a trick we're going to use with our decimal point. So check out the first question here. All right, so we have a table here. It says bamboo is one of the fastest growing plants. It can grow about 4.9 feet in height per day. This is a favorite food of panda bears. You can guess using repeated addition how to find the total height of a bamboo plant can grow over a number of days. So complete the table below. The first one is done for you. So it says here in 2 days, the bamboo plant is going to grow, of course, 4.9 feet plus 4.9 feet, for a total of 9.8 feet. Now, what I want you to do though, in order to be able to check this and see what you think is correct, we're going to use an estimate. And the easiest way to estimate here is to take 4.9 and round to the nearest number that is compatible with most things. In this case, 4.9 rounds very closely to the number 5. So instead of 4.9, I'm going to drop 5 into my estimate and see what I get. 2 times 5 is, of course, 10, which is really close to 9.8. Let's move on and see what we get. So for the next one, we've got 3. So it's going to, in 3 days, it's going to grow 4.9 feet the first day, and the second day, so we'll put another 4.9, and 4.9 times the third. We can finish out our table, of course, going straight across. All right, so 4.9 3 times. We can use repeated addition here. 4.9 plus 4.9. But repeated addition, remember, is just the same thing as multiplication. So as I look at my columns here, I'm going to, instead of thinking of it as repeated addition, I'm going to multiply through. So 9 plus 9 plus 9, that's 9 times 3. 9 times 3 I know is 27. Carry my 2 up. 4 plus 4 plus 4, well that's 4 times 3, which is 12. Plus another 2 for my 27 gives me 14. My decimal point, we remember when we're doing addition of decimals, we'll just go straight down. So I have 14.7 when I multiply that together 3 times. I can also check it. 3 times my 5 feet would give me 15 feet, and that's awfully close to 14.7 feet. Same deal here. I can take my 4.9, just take the bottom of that off, and add another 4.9 to it. 9 plus 9 is 18, plus another one is 27, plus another one is, anybody? 36. Here we are, 3 up. Again, that's 9 times 1, 2, 3, 4, which is also 36. 9 times 1, 2, or sorry, 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4 is 4 times 4? Come on, 16. Plus another 3 gives me 19. In my decimal point, we'll go in between my tenths place and my ones place, straight down. We have 19.6. That was times 4. Again, 4 times 5 for my estimate would be about 20, and that is awfully close to 19.6. Let's try our last estimate together before we move on. 5 times 5, well, that would give me 25. If I do the same thing over here, get rid of this, and add another 4.9. Well, 9 plus 9 is 18, plus another 9 would be 27, plus another 9, 36, and another 9 would be 45. There's a 5, carry my 4 over. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 4s would actually be, 6 times 4 is 24. My decimal point goes straight down in between my tenths and my ones place, 24.5, which is awfully close to our estimate of 25. Pretty easy, right? Well, now it says, look at number 4. It says, use the pattern that you've got here on the table to predict what 6 times 4.9 would be. Check using repeated addition. So I want you to look at this table real quick I'll make sure you can read that one right there. Look at our table here and see if you can figure out anything that you can use in order to figure out 6 times 4.9. No, do it right now. I'm erasing the board. Let's not waste our time. Have you figured it out yet? Oh, come on. It's not that hard. Okay, well, it's a little tricky. First thing you need to do, estimate. 6 times 5. 6 times 5 is easy. It's 30. 5 times 5. You got it. 6 times 5 is 30. Now, I know my answer is not going to be exactly 30, but it should be pretty close. But if I look at my factors over here with my answers, each number times 4.9, look at your answers. Each time, my 10th spot is getting smaller by 1/10. Well, I know my answer should be a 4 there. All right. And then as I look at my 10s in one spot, well, this whole number, it keeps getting bigger by 5 each time. So 24 plus 5 would be another 29. Actually, if we work that out, let's do it by multiplication instead of repeated addition. Because remember, each time I was doing those repeated addition lines, I was basically just multiplying straight up. Let's see if it works out for us. 6 times 9. Anybody off the top of your head? Good job. 54. Carry the 5 over. 6 times 4 is going to be 29, plus our extra 5 would give us 29. 29.4. Hey, we actually figured it out correctly. It follows the pattern, and it's really close to our estimate. So, here's how you do multiplication. But ladies and gentlemen, I just threw a decimal point in there, right? Why does the decimal point go in just one spot in? Well, if you look at the pattern here, you can figure out the secret to multiplying with a decimal. We had 1 decimal point in our question. We have 1 decimal point in our answer. We have 1 digit behind the decimal point in our question here, and 1 digit behind our decimal point in the answer, even though we have another digit over on the left-hand side of the decimal point. And actually, that is going to be the same throughout. It doesn't matter how many digits you have on either side. However many digits you have in your question behind the decimal point, you're just going to add that many to your answer, and you're going to have the correct answer as long as you multiply correctly. Let's try another one together. All right, so we're going to estimate and we're going to find the exact product. We're only going to do a couple of these, and then I want you to try some of these on your own. Because after a full week of multiplication, just moving a decimal point shouldn't be that difficult, right? So I'm going to rewrite this. 0.83 times 4. I like to do my multiplication up and down. It just helps me out. All right, so, well, like I said before, we're just going to worry about however many decimal points we have in our question. We're going to put that many in our answer. So when I'm done here, I know I'm going to need a decimal point that has, well, I'm going to need a 10th spot, and I'm going to need a 100th spot in my answer. That's all I need to know. So, other than that, I'm just going to do regular multiplication. 4 times 3 is 12. Carry our 1 up. 4 times 8, 32, plus another one gives me 33. Now, 4 times 83 hundredths, that's a pretty small number. 83 hundredths, maybe we could round up to 1. And 4 times 1 should give me something close to 4. So this number is way too big. But if I look at my rule, I have 2 digits behind my decimal point. Question? If I add a decimal point here, 3 and 32 hundredths, that is actually very close to 4, since I had to round this number way up to get to 1, and 4 times is actually going to take a lot off my answer. So it should be somewhere between 3 and 4. That's exactly what I got. Let's try one more. All right, I have 3 times 14.2. 3 times 14 and 2/10. So I'm going to take my 14.2. I'm going to put it on top. It doesn't really matter because when you're multiplying, you can multiply either number on the top and bottom. As long as you keep your places lined up, you should be good to go. All right, so 14.2 times 3, if I'm estimating, that's pretty close, times 3 times, well, 14.2. The easiest one I can think of that I know off the top of my head quickly is 15. I do 15s really fast in my head. 3 times 5, of course, is 5. Well, it's 15, carry the 1 over. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 more gives you 4. My answer should be pretty close to 45. Let's try it out and see what we get. 3 times 2, 6. I'm not worried about him yet. 3 times 4, 12. 3 times 1 is 3, plus another one gives me 4. Now, 426 is way off of 45, but remember I have 1 digit behind my decimal point. If I add that into my answer, my decimal gets very close to my estimated answer. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all you're going to do today. I want you to try the guided practice below here in just a moment. All you're going to do is line your numbers up like there are no zeros behind or in front of a decimal point. You're going to multiply those numbers throughout, and then you're going to add as many decimal points to your or digits behind the decimal point to your answer as you have in your question. At that point, you're going to estimate to make sure that you came up with something reasonable, and you should be good to go. Try the guided practice below. If you have any questions, make sure you're contacting your math teacher so that they can help you out during office hours today. All right, good luck.